Hi, everybody. So I'm Mr. Boykin, and we tried to record the virtual orientation earlier this evening. I figured out what I did wrong, so we're kind of getting a take two here. But the information will be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So thank you for your patience as we get started. So welcome to GT Lead Orientation 2020. I just wanted to say that I appreciate the warm welcome from everybody. This is my first year as the GT Lead teacher at CES, and I can just already tell the amazing amount of support from the parents and the community for the program here. And let me tell you, it makes all the difference in the world. So we just really truly appreciate all you do for our program. And my hat is off to all of you parents. Ever since COVID started, all the things that you are doing at home, nothing that we do here at school would be effective without your help. And so I know it's been stressful. I know it's been difficult, but it's made all the difference. And just thank you so much for all you're doing at home. And just want to let you know, I understand all you're doing, and thank you so much. So let's go ahead and begin. So my name is Will Boykin. This is my 23rd year working with GT students in public education. I'm a long-time middle school math teacher, but 6 years ago, the Aspire Academy at Glen Hope Elementary came calling, and so that's where I've been for the past 6 years, and just really developed a passion for GT students. And the time was right to move to be a GT lead specialist. And so I'm just thrilled and honored to be the GT specialist at CES. I'm also a proud member of TAGT and GC Sage. Those are the two very important student advocacy groups, and we'll talk more about them later. So here are some pictures from my time at the Aspire Academy, and I think the one thing that you'll see in every one of them is the level of engagement. And so that's just my goal as the GT lead teacher here at Colleyville Elementary. It's just for students to come in excited about learning and just being highly engaged with everything that we do. And so we'll start with this little bell curve. You may have seen this part to the slideshow before, but I have a little personal spin on this, maybe some new information for you. Just a reminder about who GCISD serves and how they identify GT students. And so we identify students based on their general intellectual ability through an aptitude test that's given by the district. And we serve the students that score in the 95th percentile on that assessment. So who are the GCISD gifted and talented? When I became the GT specialist, I really kind of went back to square one over the summer, and I really studied for a long time the state and local goals and definitions of gifted and talented. I really wanted to, I know why I believe we should have gifted education and why I'm passionate about it, but I wanted to kind of think about why the state thinks it's important, why our district thinks it's incredibly important. And so that last part of this really spoke to me about giving students an opportunity to reach their maximum or their full potential, not just because we want them to, but as a measure of self-fulfillment. And then also, helping them make an increased, meaningful contribution to society. So, I thought about that a long time. And at the end of the day, I just think that's the perfect definition for parents' hopes and dreams for their GT student. What more can a parent ask for than if they reach their maximum or their full potential, or if they make a meaningful contribution to society one day? So just a reminder of what GT Lead stands for, and that would be Learning Experiences for Academic Discovery. And to me, the key word is discovery, right? Going back to my math days, those were always the best lessons. It's not when, I just fed them information, but when they actively discovered something in math. And so it's the same way for GT Lead. We want the students to come in and they drive the instruction. come in and ask the questions and do the research and really figure things out for themselves, because it's just so powerful when students are able to discover things on their own. And so here's the GT service model for GCISD. It's different for every district. So first of all, we have GT student clusters. So that means that they are in their homerooms with there's 2 or 3 teachers that serve the GT students. And so they have classmates and peers that are in their homeroom that are also in my class when they come see me. So we have GT cluster teachers. They receive ongoing GT professional development every year. There's a certain requirement, number of hours they have to receive every year, whether it's through me or through the district or even out of district. And then GT lead specialists like myself, we collaborate with GT cluster teachers to support students' needs. So they're not just receiving GT services when they're with me, but they're getting that differentiation and that challenge in their traditional setting as well. And then GT lead specialists, we meet weekly with teachers through PLCs. And so we really know what's going on in their class. And so we can offer up suggestions and ideas for them to differentiate their lessons so that our GT students are always challenged. So here's some new information. Here's some dates as we kick off our GT lead classes for 2020. And everybody started on August 17th. That was Monday. So for the first 3 weeks through September 4th, we're going to push activities out in Seesaw, and that's going to be the homeroom teacher Seesaw. The district is still working on the GT lead teachers Seesaw accounts, so they're not quite ready to go. So those activities will not be in my Seesaw, but in the homeroom teacher Seesaw. So we encourage everybody to do those. Hopefully you think they are fun. And then September 8th is a short week because of the holiday, the Labor Day holiday, and so we're going to have a mini GT lead schedule. They'll probably see me once that week. And also, we will be ready to go September 14th, and they will receive all their minutes that week. We'll be in the full GT lead schedule, ready to go September 14th. So those are some dates. Speaking of minutes, here's a reminder of how much time they'll be in my classroom per week. And so when we identify their kindergarten classrooms, students in the spring, they'll receive 45 minutes. First grade will be 1.5 hours per week. Second and third grades, 2 hours per week. And fourth and fifth grades, they receive the most at 2.5 hours per week. And they'll probably see me 3 times. So yeah, we're in this new world of remote instruction. So here's a few words about that. First, all GT lead lessons will be created and implemented with the remote learner in mind. And so what does that mean? Well, as a result, remote and in-person learners, they're going to receive the same instruction. And so you don't have to worry if you are a remote learner, you're going to receive the same instruction. So that's equitable for everybody. And there will be some changes. The COVID-19 obviously is going to have some restrictions on what we can do. It's going to kind of change the traditional appearance of many of our lessons, like the marble run. But the thinking, the rigor, the engagement, that's going to remain the same. So we'll learn what we can and can't do with materials, sharing supplies, things like that. But the core of our instruction is going to remain the same. And so every lesson that we do is centered around a universal theme. And so each grade level has their own. First grade is contribution. Second grade is systems. Third grade, power. Fourth grade, explorations. And fifth grade, change. We really think they're going to love that fifth grade universal theme because, there's such a bridge year, a year of transition, right? They're headed to middle school, lots going on, so change is like perfect for them. And I see you have a couple of parents dropping in. I'm just basically re-recording this because it didn't record the first time. So I'm re-recording what we did about a half hour ago, and I'm going to post it online so you can see the full presentation if you like to. Or you can just hang around and listen to my second presentation. And so you see here the GT strands. These are the ones that, going back to that Texas state definition and goal for GT instruction. And that's going to be, the there's 4 areas, and every lesson that we do is going to pull in at least one of these strands. And so those are critical thinking, creative thinking, professional communication skills, and research. And then we have our lesson plan anchors, the things that the GT students have seen from their first day. And if they're new, they're going to learn all about them. These are things that we embed in all of our lessons to make them very, make them challenging, and just so much we can do with these. They just fit so perfectly with everything we do. And those are the depth and complexity icons, the content imperatives, and De Bono's thinking hats. And finally, we just want to let you know that we strongly believe in serving the whole child, meeting the affective or the social emotional needs of GT students. And that includes developing peer relationships, acknowledging asynchronous development, appreciating and embracing the positive side of those overexcitabilities, really managing perfectionism. That's a common trait in GT students. Developing a growth mindset from day one, understanding and serving twice exceptionalities, and recognizing underachievement. If you're interested in those topics, I have a wealth of information on those, and just feel free to talk to me about them, and we can give you lots of things that the experts have to say on those topics. And so there's my contact information. Again, my name is Will Boykin. I'll have an active Twitter account. You can follow what's going on. We'll send a newsletter on a regular basis through S'more. There's my email and my phone number. I don't really take nights and weekends off, so feel free to contact me at any time. You're my top priority, and so I will get back with you as soon as I possibly can. We are just so privileged to have Erin Burkholder as our SAGE campus representative. Normally, I'd ask her to talk for a few minutes about SAGE, but we're very limited on time tonight. So, but more on SAGE in just a minute. Our direct district advanced academics liaison is Gypsy Mishu. If she can't find the answer to our question, then nobody can. She is just amazing. And our fearless leader is Mrs. Julie Leslie. She's the director of advanced academics for GCISD, and she is such an advocate for students, parents, and teachers. Just such an asset for the district. We are just so lucky to have her. And so just a word about the advocacy groups. And the first one is GC SAGE. And I can't say enough about them. Not only do they support students and the teachers, but they do a lot for parents. They put on a lot. They bring in a lot of speakers and just a tremendous amount of education, things that you can learn from GC SAGE. So if you haven't checked them out, definitely join, become a member, and take advantage of all of their resources. Also, the Texas Association for the Gifted and Talented. We're actively involved in their conference every year. I sit in the hotel lobbies and we watch these rock stars. To us, they walk in. Hey, there's Birdie King, or hey, there's Ian Bird, and that's another way that SAGE supports us. They fund. They allow us to go and attend these meetings and learn from the very best in the country. And then finally, the NAGC, the National Association for Gifted and Talented, just a wealth of information on their website, and I encourage you to check it out. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. So again, I just thank you for joining us, and sorry about the first recording, but looks like this was successful the second time around. And I'll be posting it to my website soon. The slideshow, you can look, it's already posted on the GT site on the Colleyville Elementary website. So thanks again. Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, thanks again for joining us, everybody, and have a great evening.